Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Jen Potter, and I am the host of Networking Now. Our show is about integrating different industries and different people all over the country to talk about what they do in business, how they're growing, and how they integrate networking into everything that they're doing. Today, I'm joined by Catherine Brown. She is the author of In Search of Bliss, as well as a coach. She has a lot of things to talk about today, talking about her new book and what she's doing with work. And I'm going to have her jump in and introduce herself, and then we'll get started.
Hi,
So thank
Jen.
you.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. Hi, everybody. My name is Catherine Brown. I'm a registered nurse of 33 years. I am recently a new author for In Search of Bliss. This is a book that I wrote recently, and it explains how to get more out of life when the pursuit of happiness seems to get you nowhere. I'm also a certified health and wellness coach. I've been doing that since June, but I've been coaching a little bit before that, doing weight loss and nutrition, probably for about over a year now. Actually, I think more like 2 years. Um, so I am integrating. Not only now am I focusing on keeping people well, I'm I'm really focusing on the wellness portion of the business as opposed to focusing on illness. So I help women. I work with women and I help them see their worth. I help them get out of their heads and into living their life and really understanding what their worth is. So for women that, do it all, have a full-time job and take care of the family and take care of the bills and take the kids here, there, and everywhere. I help them feel like they are worth it. For those, many women feel like they're not good enough and they are not seen, they're invisible. They wonder what's next in life. So in my book, I really break it down to what I have um, been living for the past 33 years as a registered nurse and go through the steps that I've taken to find my bliss. Um, you know, After 33 years in nursing, I decided to walk away and again focus on wellness as opposed to illness. And in my book, I talk about um, really finding my happiness and not just happiness, but bliss. That is really getting to the root of why we do the things that we do. I was always an overachiever. And I discovered, within the last year that, is this all there is in life? And I just really wanted to break free from that and really wanted to reach out and do the things that I love and really coach women. I've been, coaching as a nurse for 33 years, but this is bringing that to the next level and really getting to the heart of what makes people who they are, what makes them tick, and really just trying to bring out the best in people so that they can live their lives to their fullest and be happy, or not just happy but blissful. Really get to that next level of nothing can break me. I am who I am. Here's what I offer. And this is the message that I want to get out there to women.
And I love that. And I love listening to everything that you talked about. I recently got one of your books. I haven't had a chance to start reading it just yet. But there was, as soon as you said, living your best life and living, this blissful life, anyone who knows me, that's my social media handle, right? Jen, live your best life. So for me, every day, it's that purpose of living your best life. And you said trigger things for me, being happy. And those things are super important to me and part of my journey as well, right? That we're in the same, similar spheres with different things that we do. And I love when I meet other women who have that same purpose, right? Like you're so purpose driven, you've have years of experience behind you as a nurse, and now taking what you know and also being able to build and grow on it. Fun fact, my degree is actually in health and exercise science, so that is a passion of mine. So when I saw that, I was like, "Oh, I love this," because it's something I've always loved, and it's always been a part of the integration of everything that I do. And so, I know you said that there's something intriguing to me. It's not just about being happy; it's about being blissful. And it's funny because I recently just had a conversation with someone, and they said, and they just hit their halfway point in their life. They just turned 50, and
Mhm.
said I don't think it's about living a happy life. I think it's about being content. And I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. No, I was like, I don't know if content is the right word for me. Like, and maybe
Yeah.
some people will disagree and say, yes, content, right? Because then I kind of looked back and I was like, oh, but bliss. Like, content just seemed like you're willing to settle. Happy is
Mhm.
something I always want to be. But when you say the word bliss, this big smile comes over your face.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I would love for you to tell our audience, obviously don't spoil the book because I'm excited about reading it, but, give me a little tidbit of what living a blissful life means. Like, what does that mean?
Yeah, so living a blissful life is, you know, for me, and I struggled with this myself. So, I'm 55 years old, and again, I've been a nurse for 33 years, and I was always an overachiever. I would go after that next huge goal, and I would always achieve it. And I would go after the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And then I was like, okay, what's next? And then I came to a point and said, when is it going to be enough? So I've really finally figured out that I'm doing all these things, but I'm never really feeling fulfilled and happy. So for me, getting to bliss is really having that inner awareness of, what's going on, stepping back, um, just really understanding what is happening and where I am in life and where I want to go. And it's, you can be happy, things make you happy, the weather makes you happy, people make you happy, but bliss is something different. It is that inner core feeling of nothing can break me no matter what. It is that feeling that the end of the day that I am who I am, this is what I bring to the table, this is what I offer, I am worth it. Nothing can break you. Nothing, you're going to have bad days. Of course, we all have bad days, but this is really that inner core feeling of I know who I am and I don't care, of course I care what people think, but inside I know that I do the right thing. I'm a great person. I treat people the way I would like to be treated. It's all of that, living your best life. And at the end of the day, if something were to happen to me tomorrow, am I good with a life that I've lived? And I can say honestly, yes. I've given my all to everything that I've done in my life and everything that I continue to do. I never do anything halfway. Bliss to me is just that inner, just that, I don't know, that inner brightness that, like, again, I go back to that core, that feeling like nothing can break me no matter what's going on. And I've actually, as I'm writing the book, and I won't give it away, but I've had to deal with some things as I'm writing my book that really put me to the test, my own test again. And I really had to understand again where I've come from and where I'm going and how I'm going to get there. So it's more than just, I've had a great day, I've had a great week, my pets make me happy, people make me happy, the weather's great. It's all of that and more. It's, again, that feeling like I know who I finally am, and I know what I bring, and I know that I can help other women who feel stuck and feel like, is this all there is in life? What's next? What am I doing? You hear a lot of that. What am I doing? What's going on? What are my next steps in life? Is this all there is? You hear that a lot. So
Right.
I want to really focus on, bringing women to the next level of, you know, that survival and that inner peace that whatever they do, they are so solid that nothing can break them.
And I definitely do love that. And I want to kind of elaborate a little bit more and go a little bit deeper because then my next question is you got to a point in your life, and I know for me, I discovered this in my late 30s of finding this inner peace, right? Like I it took me a long time to get there, and I feel like I've gotten there a little bit sooner than most people in our age group between me and you. And I turned 41 actually in a few days, and for me, I'm at a point in my life where I am super happy. I wake up in the morning and nothing's going to break me. Nothing's going to stop me. I own everything that I've come to. But for me, it came with, something traumatic that happened and,
Mhm.
I almost died. And so for me, I think I got to that point because of that. Was there some type of life trigger? Was it just you woke up one morning and it was an aha moment? But what was it that made you realize that you're like, hey, this is where I need to be?
Yeah, and again, I don't wanna give a whole lot away 'cause it's in my book, but, the first sentence in my book talks about how my father walked out on us when I was 2 years old, he never came back. And from that point forward, I based my whole life and my worth, on what I could achieve. I felt like I lost that in my personal life. I felt like I wasn't worth it. I wasn't enough. I wasn't loved. All these things that I felt. And I felt like the only way that I can prove to myself that I was enough was by overachieving, every goal that I set for myself, I achieved the goal that I set out for next goal. So yes, that was definitely a traumatic point in my life. You know, and again, I was two, so you could say, well, you were two, you really can't understand what's happening at 2 years old. But how that plays out for the rest of your life and how those feelings really make you who you are has been the basis for why I'm doing coaching, why I wrote the book, because I know that there are many women out there that feel exactly the same way that I do. And this book has resonated with so many people, and so many people have said to me, thank you for making this real because I thought I was crazy for all these years. You're not crazy, you're just feeling the feelings. And so yeah, that was my traumatic event that really triggered the next 55 years of my life until I finally walked away from nursing in the traditional sense because it wasn't fulfilling me the way I wanted it to, you know?
Mhm. And no, I totally get that, and I think, we go through things in our lives for a reason. I'm a firm believer in that.
I do
And I
too.
think that's something, when you look back, you probably say, well, I wouldn't have been able to write this book if it wasn't for all of these things that have happened. And I think that that's a really beautiful thing. And I want to dive a little bit more into that. But first, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more. So I am Jen Potter. I am joined by Catherine Brown. And when we come back, we're going to dive a little bit more into your book and what you're doing. So thank you. Stay tuned.